Hey guys, this is pretty much the quick update and um, the prophecy variation of my Blayfall miner. Uh, to be honest, there was quite a bit of a problem with my last miner, and that was essentially an effective life problem. At most, if you go pure life, with the little ES buffer from Carcass Jack, you only are able to get around 6,000 effective life. And 6,000 effective life is actually quite low. It's quite dangerous if you're not very fluent with the actual build. I personally had no problems with 6,000 life doing tier 14s and tier 15s, but maybe for harder content such as the Pale Council, at Siri farming, you might want to have a bigger buffer. So, what I've done on the Prophecy variant of my Blayfall miner is essentially dropped Heart and Soul and I dropped the Shadow area here. So, this allows me to actually pick up the hybrid ES nodes and the Arcane Focus, giving me a hefty amount of ES. So, right now, on this build, I'm sitting at 5.8k effective at level 90 using dual wands, and basically I have no ES boots, basically no ES helm, and no ES shield, and a 300 ES chest piece. So ideally, what I want to do is get something like 500, 600 ES chest with life, get an ES pair of boots, and as you can see here right now, I actually do have a ES helm and a ES shield that I swap to when I need to do harder content. So I did the Pale Council fight with this setup here that I'm about to show you. And essentially I have, I think, 7.8k effective with this setup. So I have 4.35 and 3.45. So yeah, that's essentially 7.8k effective life with a lot of room to grow. So I can drop my boots, or not drop my boots. I can get much better boots here, where somewhere along the lines of maybe 120 ES, giving me somewhere around 300 more ES full after all the calculations. With life, if I want to, I can drop the life and probably go for 200-ish, maybe 250 ES boots with movement speed. Movement speed is something you cannot sacrifice as a miner, unfortunately, for my build. Maybe if you were a Whirling Blades like Beano's miner, then you could probably drop the movement speed, but in my opinion, movement speed is the most superior movement ability. Just being able to run fast makes life a lot easier. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm expecting this build to have, let's see. So with 370, if I drop that, I lose like 1,100. So I can gain about 800 ES on the boots, and then I can also gain probably another 1,000. So I can probably gain like another 2,000, putting me at 5.5k ES, and my life might drop by like 300. So that puts me at 9,500 effective as hybrid. So yeah, that's way better than the 6,000. And if I go that build, depending on how good my ES gear gets, I might even just straight up switch to CI. But other than that, this is pretty much how the build feels with one wand. It's not as consistent as two wands, but you sacrifice damage for a lot more survivability. So let me summon these guys back out, just to get like the feel, so it feels identical. So as long as the pack is large enough, the explosions will still clear the whole pack. However, like if it's much more rare to clip like one or two mobs and then have those one or two mobs proc the explosions to kill the whole pack on the other side of the screen, because Instead of having 40% chance to explode, they only have 20. So the explosion isn't as consistent, which is why if you're just farming like tier 11 and under maps, just go the dual wand setup. But if you want to do much harder content, I recommend having the new passive tree that I have, that I mentioned, so that you can actually swap and get a hefty amount of buffer. So like Volv on a charge can't even remove all my ES. That's how tanky I got. And that's pretty much it for the build. I'll see you guys next time.